Hello everyone, I'm Ayush Iyer and welcome to my channel again. Today is the fourth video of the Python series. Today I will be teaching the conditional statements. In the last three videos we learned the basic concepts, what are variables and what are functions in Python. In this video we will be seeing what are conditional statements. Conditional statements, in simple terms to understand, we use conditions in our day-to-day conversations. Like for example, we say if you study hard you will get good marks, or we say the sentences like if you study hard you will pass in the exam or else you will fail. So this if then or if else are all the conditions that we use in our day-to-day life. So as English is a language, Python is also a language, so Python do have conditional statements. I have listed them here. First is the if statement, second is the if else statement, third is the elif statements, last is the nested if statement. We will be going through all these one by one. So let's first look at if statements. So basically if statements, as I said earlier, if you study hard you will get good marks, that much only. So means you will be giving the if keyword and you will be describing the condition. But these are not like a regular languages. We have to provide some condition, like if 9 is greater than 5 then print 9 is greater than 5, else 9 is smaller than 5. So first let's see the syntax of if statements. If condition, and you need to give an hyphen, and then on the next line you need to give indentation. I will explain what is indentation in my functions video. You can check that in the description box. And then you need to write the statements. These statements will be executed only if the condition is true. If it's false, then this block would be skipped. That is, it will jump to this line after this statements. So now let's see an example. For example, let's take if, I'll take a parenthesis, 9 is greater than 5, print 9 is greater than 5. Okay, now just let's see. As 9 is greater than 5, this statement is executed. If I had written like this, if 9 is smaller than 5, then there will be no output, because we know that this statement is false. 9 is always greater than 5, not smaller than 5. Then this statement will not be executed. So for clear understanding, I'll just write down here. See, now if 9 is greater than 5, then this would be printed, but if 9 is smaller than 5, then this will be printed. As this is false, we know that. So this statement, the line after, then line after the print is 9 is greater than 5, after the block whatever statements are written, that would be printed. So here you can see, once I run this, see, we get this statement, print the statement if false. So this is how if block works. You can write any condition. We can even take something like this. Let's just keep it like that. 9 is greater than 5. Now here both the statements will be printed, because we know that 9 is greater than 5, then this statement would be executed, and as this statement is executed, the interpreter would come to the next line, which is the print line, and this will also be executed. But if this condition is false, then this statement would be skipped, and then this would then it will jump to the next statement. I'll take some another examples. Let's take a character variable, like let's take this as a string. What are strings? I will explain that in the upcoming videos. For now, just understand the strings are basically those characters, a sequence of characters, or basically in simple terms words written between words or sentences written between single inverted or double inverted commas. So now I'll write if character is equal to yes. Now here double is now let me just explain you this, that here we have taken two equal to's and here only one. So in Python, if we are giving only one equal to, this would represent assignment, that is we are assigning the value yes into character, means we are storing the value yes into this character variable. The double equal to means it checks that whether the two sides or the two operators on the both the ends of the two operands on both the ends of the operator are equal or not. That means if character is equal to yes, and if it is yes, then we'll print reply. Now you can see that the reply is yes. We know that character is equal to yes, and as this condition is satisfied, this statement is printed. So this was if statements. Now let's go to the next type, that is the if else statement. Now as I said earlier, if you study hard, then you will pass in the exam, or else you will fail. So if else, this is another structure in Python. Now here let us take a beautiful example. Okay, so let me take a variable named num and I'll store value 5 in it, and if num is less than 0, print num is negative. Now if this statement is not satisfied, means if the number is not negative, then you can write alternative condition. Means if this statement is false, then alternative statement will be executed, which is called as the else statement. Print num is positive. Now if we write this execute this statement, see, we get 5 is positive. Now we know that 5 is greater than 0, so this statement would definitely not be executed and the else block would be executed. Now a question might arise that if both the statements are false, then what would be the case? Like the earlier case of the if statements, both the blocks would be skipped or ignored, and the next line after this, print both conditions are false, this statement would be executed. Now let's just try by changing the number. If I give -2, you can see -2 is negative. This statement is also executed. You can see that this statement is also executed. Okay, now if I give 0, now you can see that now this would consider 0 as positive, because I have said that if less than 0, then print negative. So for all other cases, equal to or greater than, it would consider as positive. So this was about if else statement. Now what if I made it like this? I'm just copying this. If num is equal to 0, print num is negative. What if I said, now if I want to add multiple conditions, means like not only two conditions, if this else that, if I want, if this is not executed, then look for this condition, if that is also not executed, next look for another condition. So we can give multiple conditions with the keyword elif, means if, elif means else if. I just need to give another condition here, num is equal to 0. If num is equal to 0, then print num is 0. Now I can give the else statement, num is positive. Now if I remove this for simplicity, you can see this. If this statement is false, then it will go for this statement, and if this statement is true, it won't even check for the else statement, because we know that any one condition should be satisfied and one condition is satisfied. Or if I give like this, if I give a positive number, then the else statement would be executed. See, we can see that the else statement is executed. And if I give, suppose for example, -2, then the if statement would be executed. Like this, any statement, any condition that is being fulfilled, that block is executed and the remaining blocks are ignored and skipped basically. So this was about the elif condition, elif statements. You can give as much as conditions as you want, infinite number conditions can be given. So the last type is nested if. Now this is something which is interesting. Now in real life situations, we give conditions within conditions. That is, we study hard. In that hard also, if you study for 10 hours, you will get good marks. If you study for 3 hours, you will get moderate marks. Like that, conditions within conditions are called as nested conditions or nested if statements. Let's see an example for this. Now I am declaring, let's copy the same. Here I am giving suppose 7. If num is, now I am just changing the conditions like this. If num is greater than 0, in this I am giving another if condition, which is if num mod mod 2 means is equal to 0, means I am dividing the number by 2, and if the remainder is 0, that means definitely the number would be even. For example, if I divide 6 by 2, we'll definitely get the remainder equal to 0. The mod operator always gives the remainder 0, always gives the remainder, not always 0, gives the remainder of any division, and if that remainder is 0, then it would be even number if when divided with 2. So here, if this is true, I can say that the number is positive and even, and within this I can give another statement as else print num is positive and odd. And you just need while writing the nested if statements, the one thing to take care of is of the indentations. Means if you have given indentation 4 spaces or a tab, if you have pressed tab one time, then for the statements of the second if statement or the nested if statement should be twice the number, because this statement belongs to this if as well as this if. So one should make sure that the indentation is given properly. If the indentation is missed, then the code will not be executed. Negative, I'll just remove this statement. Here also I can write the same condition. Just remove this thing. Now this is under the elif category. Now we'll give the else condition. See, for this if I am maintaining the indentation, and for this if I am maintaining the indentation for the statements also. You need to maintain the indentation or else you will just mess up with the code. Number print number is 0. Okay, now I've given here 7 for example. Sorry, one second. Oh sorry, I have just not given the condition for elif num less than 0. See, you can see that 7 is a positive number, but it's an odd number. So within the if statement, it has executed and given us that 7 is positive and odd. Now if I try changing the number like -4, it would definitely give negative and even. See, 4 is negative and even, and if I try 0, then it would give 0 is 0. So this is how you can execute multiple conditions and any conditional statements, because conditional statements are the most important thing in programming, because if we try to make a software or an app, and if you are trying to make a game, and if you want to ask the user that whether they want to continue or not, then you may need to take some input, and you have to check whether the input is equal to yes for continuation or no for ending. So for that purposes, these conditional statements are prior, and they are also useful in many other cases. So this is wholly about conditional statements. If you want more such videos, I will be uploading more videos on the Python. So next video will be on loops. Loops are also very important part in programming. So that's all for today. If you like this video and if you want more such videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and there will be a small bell icon aside that. Please click on it so that you can get notifications of my upcoming video. Thank you.